Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room recap for Wednesday, January the 6th. My name is Barry Haynerson. I'm the moderator of our trading room. This is the address to get into the room. And the room is open between 9 and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm live on the mic between those two times. All right, today was FOMC day at 2 p.m. So actually, it was kind of quiet. Um, Not a lot of action at 2 p.m. I guess just the minutes were read, not a lot of discussion. So it was basically a non-event. But I usually trade a little more cautiously on these days, certainly in the hour leading up to it. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the things that I did here. PXD was a pretty good one. PXD, we watched this in the pre-market. You can see that it had a massive collapse. I believe they had an offering. So it's not because of anything that bad that happened. It was just that there's a share offering, and of course that usually drives the price down. So looking at this one for a bounce play, and let me just get the chart just a little bit bigger. Here we go. So here's where it started to bounce right off the bat. These are 15-minute candles, and I ended up taking the trade at 116.21. That's right. Actually, I traded this twice. I forgot. I did it the first time at 116.21, went long, and it was probably actually on this candle, 116.21, and then as it came back down, I exited the trade at actually I got in at sorry about that 16.28. As it came back down, I got out at 16.21. Got back in at 16.05. More than likely was on this candle right there at 16.05, and then got nicely rewarded. Took some out at 116.72 in this area. Took some out on this candle right there at let's see. I'm all discombobulated here. It had to be an all this candle because I I took some out here at 1672 and up here at 1729, and then it started coming back down, and I got out the balance on this candle at 1634. So sorry about that. So my second buy was at 116.28 on this 15-minute candles. 116.28, got out at 116.72, 117.29, and 116.34. Very quick. Again, I don't normally trade too much in the first half hour or even 15 minutes, but this one, it just had that look about it that it looked like it wanted to recover some. Again, it wasn't that it was bad news. I mean, obviously, as an energy stock, bad news for existing shareholders. They don't like to see their positions, excuse me, weakened because more shares are now added to the float and all. But nonetheless, it wasn't because some discovery went awry or even something that happened overall in the sector. So that was that. Now the second one was now. Now came from our AI channel, and of interest. Come on now, no pun intended. Hmm. Okay, let's get back to the 15. Okay, so now came from our AA channel, and the alert was to short this. And the alert came at 82.54, and excuse me, this was actually an opening range break. And you see here's about the bottom 82.56, and when it came down through here, the short signal was given. However, notice this candle came right back up. Now I did actually try to short this at 82.57. I took the short at 82.57 right about here as it came back up a little bit, but then on this candle I exited at 82.87 for a loss of 30 cents. However, I did persevere. Now, technically, this did get stopped out because the stop was at 83.04. So even if I'd held on to the stop price, I would have got stopped out. But I did persevere, and I reshorted actually a little bit early. I know in the room I said I might wait for it to hit the trigger, but I actually reshorted this at and the trigger being 82 54. But I actually reshorted at 80. Let's see, what was it? It was 82, 86, 87, sorry, 82.71. and I was able to ride it down. I did not ride it down the whole way. I actually exited. It lags so much. On this pull up here, I exited most of it just about 82.19. I wish I'd held on because this has turned into a really, really nice short. But as Dan said in the room, I mean, it didn't work the first time. Doesn't mean you just discount it and not look at it ever again. And that's basically what I did. So it did turn into a pretty nice short. MYL turned into a nice short, and that's from Real in the room. Caught this action here. Basically said watch it for a short. I did get in late. Ended up shorting at 54.19, right about here, and took some out when it broke down through 54. Took some out at 53.95, and then exited the balance as it was popping up through 54, right here. Actually, it was right in this action here, and I unfortunately I missed this. This would have been that's sort of a nice GBI green bar ignored and the resumption, but I kind of missed that. But kudos to Real for pointing that out to us. And a CAD was a very nice one actually. A CAD came from my option stuff, as I call it. The initial alert, see if I can find it, was right there at 29.63. There was the initial alert to short it at 29.63, and I didn't get into it until 29.52. 29.52, which is right about there, right there. Say right there, and really nice. It dropped. I took some out at 29.12, just in case it didn't break down through the whole number. And then I took the balance out at 29.18. Sort of was watching this, but I probably was not going to take this trade anyway because you see it's 145. This is 2 o'clock right there, and that's where the FOMC was. So though this would have been nice to have at least held a portion and get it down to 28.50 would have been almost $1. The other one I took was Ollie, OLLI. And this was what I did was, some of you have got this already, the bouncers 2 and 5, and this is looking for stocks, of course, that are moving down. So basically what I did was I took the reverse. I just flipped the strategy and now looking for stocks that are moving up. And the first ones that came up was Lance, and I don't think I've got symbol linking there. So Lance came up 3403, and you can see what the pattern is. Basically, something that is moving up perhaps too fast and is due for a reversal. And I didn't take this one, but did it ever reverse very, very nicely. So the next one that came up was Ollie. And I missed it a little bit. I mean, because the initial alert was at, well, I guess it actually was at 1871, but it started moving up, from there. And so I actually saw this and the same sort of looking pattern, I mean, basically thinking it's run too much. When I also looked at on the daily, because it's always good to look at the different time frames. I think if I look a little bit further out, yeah, look a little bit further out, you see all this action here around 18. So my thinking was that it could possibly just come back. Can't see not at 18, sorry about that. Right here at 19. There, that's what I was looking at. Look, I saw that little spike here. Yeah, it's a few months ago, but nonetheless, that little spike there. So I thought, okay, I was going to give this one a shot. And so I ended up, let's get back to the 15 minute. So I ended up taking the short at, what was the price? At 1872, 1872. Gremlins here, 1872, right around here, and it did drop all the way down to 1849. I actually decided to hold this. Normally, I don't hold anything over the FOMC. I did hold it, and because I didn't think it would be too affected. I didn't think FOMC would have that much of an effect on the overall market today anyway. I just didn't think this one would be affected that much. It's not one of the major stocks, but I did end up covering it at, let's see, I think it was 1850 something or other. I'd have to check my notes, but this was more of an experiment though for me because I used to watch these also. I mean, I call them toppers, but this was really designed to be a short strategy, and that's why, and I really do like this one, the bouncers 2 and 5. But I decided I will resurrect this and see how this does work. I mean, again, we're looking for stocks that are topping out. TEGP, the same. Let's see, when would have that have been? Probably back here. Oh no, it would have been here. And it has fallen because no, it would have been right up here, 1706. But what would have happened is we would have watched this continue to go up. Just because you get the alert doesn't mean you just initially dive in and short. DTE, let's see what this was doing, 79.80. It hasn't done too much, but you can see what it's looking for. All these candles up in a row, and then perhaps taking the short. Anyway, I will monitor this over the next little while. If you want this one, I'll certainly give it to you. Just email me at the back this out. Just email me here, and I will certainly give you this one. And if you want this one, if you haven't already got this one, I'll certainly give you this one too. All right, that's it for today. Let me just back everything off. And here again is how to get into the room. Here's the address. Open 9 to 4 Eastern Time, and I'm live on the mic between those two times. So hopefully we'll see you in our trading room tomorrow. Bye bye.